It's a bright, rainy Saturday morning. You wish that we might have been here earlier, but look at us. The rain is raining. And I'm super excited to be here on Rise and Shine. It's an opportunity to rise and shine right in the rain. And God have mercy. Well, my name is Bayanni, and trust me, I'm excited to be here this morning. And it's really great having, you join us this morning.
And I am Frank Is super excited to welcome you. I mean, the showers is just something else, but then it's worth it for those of us who will enjoy sleeping in those extra times. It couldn't have come at a better time other than this morning.
You shouldn't have rubbed that in.
Somebody's feeling jealous right now that you are there enjoying your cozy, comfy sleep this morning. But then, we signed up for this to always be on the side of the line to make sure that you're having a very great morning. Right. Exactly. So, we're glad to be here while you're enjoying the sleep. And we, as usual, we'll get you started with all the crazy, amazing J's from all across the different fields of human endeavor within and outside Nigeria to ensure that you have that kick that just gets you started on the right footing for the weekend excitement.
So let me start like this. What's the highlight? What was the highlight of your week?
What was the highlight of the week? The highlight of the week.
This guy must have had something fresh.
Don't mind me, guys. So today I'm just super excited.
Come on now,
when I was stepping out of my house, I was like, oh my goodness. I picked up my umbrella and then I flipped it open. And of all days for the umbrella to malfunction, it just happened to be this morning.
You're not serious.
I'm like, what? How am I going to find my way from my house to the pickup point? And then the driver called, I'm heading to your place. I'm like, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? And I just decided I removed my shoes, I removed my clothes, and just dumped them inside my bag, and then wore a flip-flop. I'm like, and finally we're here. So the showers kind of reminded me that, hey guy, you need to buy a car. You need to buy a car. You need to buy a car.
I mean, I think we somewhat had the same experience this morning because I had to like put off the things I was going to wear like normally, and I did like how many minutes walk in the rain, and I was like, oh, for my lovely rise and shiners, you gotta rise with me today. I mean, but it's good. And then yes, sir. And then, the week was really good. I think the highlight of the week for me was that on Monday, I had a friend of mine, like, that moment where you're just having a conversation and then, boom, someone begins to speak the blessings over you and speak the blessings over your week. I think that was the highlight of my week, and it just made me, like, walk on the air throughout the week. And trust me, I have had a really good week. I've been blessed, working in some really good form of atmosphere, and I can't thank my friend a lot. Enough. So yeah.
Let me guess. He friend or a she friend?
It doesn't matter what friend. Just know that my friend spoke over me.
Seriously, when sisters like you talk about a friend speaking into your life, going back to what Pastor Blessed and Auntie Chimesi have done recently, we'd like to be very specific to know, is it the brother with the brother in the Lord or just the brother that looks like a sister?
Isha does not concern you. Isha does not concern you. Just know that I had a good week.
Alright, so it's a beautiful thing to know that you had a very beautiful week. Well, some of us had a great week, but for those of you who couldn't have a better week, who couldn't wait for the weekend to come, well, the weekend is finally here, so you get to relieve all the stress that you've had all through the week. You get to relieve all the struggles. You get to, just take out a time, fly to some island, fly to some comfortable spots, to some resort.
But we can fly to islands in our minds also, right?
Yes, you can do that. It's totally acceptable. I mean, sometimes I don't want to mention the person's name.
Well, I was going to say that in terms of people whom I feel like they didn't have a great week, right? It's just also good for you to sit down and reflect over how your week went all the days, and you find out that there would have been small pockets of moments that were really good, but maybe because we're pursuing a particular cause in the week and maybe that didn't happen, you might now feel like, my week was not as good as I hoped it would have been. When people talk about happiness and how good their week was, sometimes it's not that they made the money they expected, but some very good small pockets of memorable experiences. You're still alive life to be able to pursue against next week. So I don't want to be like totally, I don't want to give any of our lovely viewers the opportunity to say, oh, my week was not so good. There's got to be something that was good. But when we come to like talking about relationships and how people stay happy, Big Brother Nigeria, they're beginning to give us like bang bang bang, and we see that Shenges, what's his name, like Shenges, Shegs and Bella are heating up a relationship stew.
Well, it's since the merger of the two houses this week, it's literally like they were waiting for the merger to come for all of the dramas to kickstart.
Is it that the people inside their previous houses were not cooking drama?
No, there's that. Initially when you had two houses, it's just like when people went for The Voice Niger, and then you had different houses. The tendency was that probably they felt like, okay, house one could be the bigger house or house B. So now that they're back together, everybody's kind of feeling that frenzy. Everybody's feeling that unity, kind of, okay, we are on the same level. There is no pressure somehow to level up or trying to level up to people in the other house. So it's a level playing ground now for everybody, and they are all bringing it up to the front. And then you look at Shex and Bella, their relationship. It's a very big drama, very serious drama right now. You get to see Bella and Shex, getting all dovey, all loved up. And the situation that actually struck me was when Bella was in the bathroom crying for what other housemate did to her, and then Shex had to go all the way into the bathroom and try to console her, and then come out to attack or confront the housemate and ask them to try and settle up with Bella. I'm like, oh my God! So this is a guy trying to protect his bride to be.
He's rooting for her. He's rooting for her, man.
But seriously, when you talk about relationship, it's just so crazy sometimes. And see, yeah. And then Hems and Arlene, they also kiss passionately. Just selling the relationship, sheep, and then they're selling the boats. Like it's literally like everybody in the house is looking up to clicking into one relationship or the other. And in as much as I wouldn't want to be a joy killer, I like to remind them, though, that we had Emmanuel and Liqua Rose ship in the previous edition of the Big Brother, and today we are not seeing anything happen to it. And we've had other relationships like that.
No, but so that sometimes this relationship stuff in this Big Brother is like a heartwarming strategy for the young people. It's not like, sometimes it doesn't feel like they want to take it beyond the house. They're just putting up a show. I mean, it's showbiz. They're putting up a show, and whoever knows how to act the most yummiest has the followership, of the people. People want to say, oh, this week what happens with Shegs and Bella. Oh, Hems and Alison, what's happening? I think it's just a strategy for the screen. Nothing more interesting.
You know what, strategy or not, let's just take a clip of what has been going on inside the Big Brother house. Just a clip of that. Alison and Bella and Shags and all of their dramas together in the house. Let's just see a clip of that.
Don't argue about food, don't do that. Don't argue about food. Don't argue about food.
Down. Yeah, Jazzy. I'll be your vessel for me too. Calm down. Bella.
Stop now, Shaq. No, it's true. It's true. So if you're a billionaire, what would you do? You not say that shit control you. I won't give you. I won't give you to you. I won't control you. You are not going to use. Guy, it's not me that's going to give you that cloud that you're looking for. That cloud you're looking for on Twitter is not me going to give you.
Don't talk again.
You're trying to use me for Twitter clicks. It's me that you want to use for Twitter views shit.
Like, no one's ever called me a thief before.
Somebody else, nigga.
You are very stupid.
Bro, we literally asked Brian and what
BB Niger.
So the drama is heating up, like gradually heating up, and then you begin to, see the different housemates bringing in their there are different shades of crazy into the house, and then the drama is just heating up and pumping up. But something actually attracted my attention, especially within the Big Brother Niger this morning. One of the things that attracted my attention was the issue where Brian went very emotional in his conversation, and then when the Big Brother housemate all sat to talk about relationship and marriages, and then of course Brian being able to bear his mind to Big Brother that his parents are currently divorced and he's been trying to understand and try to stay strong and all of that, and then he pointed out that he's closer to his mother than he is to his father, and then I think his conversation with Big Brother actually like gave the lead to what the other housemates got to talk about. And then Bella took that opportunity to tell everybody who cared to listen that, Shex is just the ideal guy she's been praying for. And then netizens, I wish we could have some of the reactions from them. And netizens are like, Auntie, all of your life that you have been on this planet Earth, you've not seen the kind of man that you've been praying for until you came into the Big Brother house. What if you never made it to the Big Brother Niger house?
Right now. I'm being netizen right now. Well, it might have been, but let's not also forget that even on Big Brother Niger, I think we've had like 2 marriages come out of the Big Brother house, and they're still doing well. The marriages are strong and they're still heading on. So if she says she has found the kind of man she's been praying for in Shex, I mean, let her just be sure that Shex has healed from the pain he's going through before she tries to hang a sheep on his neck.
You know what, let's just listen to what Bella had to say, and a few conversations bordering on relationship and what each of the housemates had to say about marriage and what they would do in different situations.
African mothers don't like that mentality. Oh, like you just have to manage, you just have to endure.
No, I don't want that. I don't want to.
For the kids.
I don't want to manage and
endure.
There are people
like that enjoying their marriages, and I will enjoy mine.
I'll enjoy my marriage. I'll enjoy my marriage.
Yeah. Because one thing that is sure for me is if I'm not enjoying my marriage, I don't care about that thing. I'm divorcing my husband. Me, I'm pro divorce. I don't want to say. Is everything that you've prayed for? They don't exist.
Yeah. And I just keep saying it's possible. There's someone very possible there.
Their opinion. Of course, at the end of the day, let them all know that whatever opinions that they are forming about relationships and marital life is very likely, very possible that that's going to be their experience. So that one that is shouting, she's very pro in love. You better take your time before you go into any relationship and count your costs. Don't go in the middle of the ship and try to come and add more wahala for us. See, people are enjoying their marriages. As we always say, people are enjoying their marriages. People are having good marriages. Don't bring the burden of past experiences, of people's sour experiences, and try to throw it as a blanket. No, not this. See, let me say, at the end of the day, nobody is gaining anything being pro-divorce. Like I'm pro-divorce. See, let me tell you, we will not accept bad things in this Nigeria, in this Africa. We are pro-good family life. Hey, partner, we are
pro-good family life. I know. All right, so seriously, jokes aside, right now, if we have to, looking at the issue of Brian, who actually had to unbear his mind, you look at him, look at his age, and then you get to see, regardless of how long the parents' divorce have lasted, it is still having a toll on him as a person. That is to show you that marriage is not that one place. It's not a relationship. It's not an affair. It's not that place that you just jump in with the mindset that, if it is not working the way I want it, I am going to jump out of it.
And usually the distrust doesn't affect just one person.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So it is very important that while we are, advocating and trying to be activists or doing all the feminism stuffs and trying to say, you don't get to endure. There is literally no marriage you wouldn't have to endure the next person. Because in as much as we are all human, it will get to a point when your partner is not going to give you what you want the way you want it. And you just have to make some, little compromises here and there to make that relationship work. So if you as a person, you're already feeling like, if I get into that relationship and it doesn't favor me, it doesn't work for me, I'm out. Then you shouldn't even think of getting married.
Exactly.
And especially when there are kids involved.
Yeah.
It's literally something you should avoid, because the number of broken relationships, in fact, let me just put it this way. The number of broken persons we have on the streets of Nigeria boils down to the number of broken relationships and broken homes we have. Whether or not you like it, God wasn't stupid when he created man and woman to be alone and for children to come out under that family roof. So when you take the children out of that family roof and give them a different upbringing, it leaves an impression on their mind, it leaves an impression in their personality, and they grow up broken. Funny enough, I think Africans are the only people who will tell you, some Africans will tell you, going for counseling and getting to get counsel because you've had one trauma or the other is not something that we should embrace, you know. But these are things that we should do to help take our minds off the negative things that we must have experienced through our life journey in order to be better persons.
Yeah, we need to be better people. Of course, well, Bella and Shegs, and then Alison and Hems, we wish them all the best, and for everyone who's enjoying the reality TV show, we wish you all the best. Keep enjoying, and I hope you pick the right things out of the show at the end of the day. But now we're going to move because we have a lot of hot gist. Now, we saw this week that Ebony Live TV CEO Mo Abudu has decided that she's going to add another feather to her, very active live on the screens, live, in relation to the screen. Now she's decided that she's going to learn and become a film director, and in the course of this week she brought us pictures and videos of her new projects, her new baby project on directing, and she seems to be so full of life and excited about being able to go to stepping into this new kind of role.
Well, as far as Mo Abudu is concerned, she's a woman of many strides, a woman of many talent, and I'm not surprised that she's venturing into directing because in the media world, one of the things that keeps you on top of the situation is your ability to progress with the situation, your ability to transform with the situation, your ability to keep evolving and keep learning. And so she has been in the industry for a good number of years. She's been
produced quite a number of really nice movies.
Very nice. And even the Blood Sisters, the first Netflix stories was also, a very great accomplishment. So I am not surprised that she's beginning to take that step towards directing because sometimes it gets to a point in your career that you realize to be better at one thing, you need to do the other thing. And becoming a director would work far better in her interest. She would best be able to understand more while she's scripting her stories, while she's dealing with the characters, while she's dealing with the angles and the camera shots and frames and all of that. And that literally will affect the line of her jobs and the output that she's going to put up going forward. So the storyline she's also picked Yawomi, My Wife, the typical fictional story, and that has to do with mental issues. Is literally some great stories, because if you look at the society, marriage and issues surrounding marriage is literally something that, if I had my ways, I would say we talk about a lot of young persons in the society have some
mentality about what marriage is about.
Exactly. They have this fictional kind of imagery that they have painted in their mind as to what marriage should be.
That's what Hollywood and Nollywood have done.
No, it's not Nollywood problem. It's not Bollywood problem. It's not Hollywood problem. Now, everything, as a scriptwriter, we could say that every story you see on the screen is something that happens to somebody. Whether it's the most perfect love relationship or the most absurd relationship, it happened to somebody. There are a few tricks, and turns and twists here and there that we as scriptwriters think really do happen. And then for reality, you take away that into the fiction. But then, the one thing that we need to understand is that regardless of what you see on TV, regardless of what you see in the films, in the romantic movies, you get to understand that what works for A doesn't work for B. And as much as we are, there are over how many of us on this planet Earth? Nigeria alone, 200 million plus. each and every one of us has what align that with that of your spouse or partner.
People should
then
start
you will be able
Francis,
to.
because we're talking about Mo Abudu and the fact that she has become a film director. She's decided to become a film director.
No, seriously.
I don't know how you found your way and wound your way back to marriage.
No, but seriously, I'm trying to understand why she had to go there. Iyawomi, yes, the typical Yoruba word for my love, my wife. Yes, I said my wife earlier on. So, but seriously, it is very important that we know that what works for A, for B, for C might not work for us who happens to be Z or whatever alphabet of letter you represent.
At the end of the day, when you talk about the relationship things, everybody should just know I think with relationships, discovering who you are first as a person before attempting to put someone else is very, predominant. It's very necessary, because if you know yourself and you know what you value, what you stand for, it will help you select the kind of person that you bring into your boat. And you really need to know what works for you as a person. Don't just, go up about picking anyone you see just because you feel like you need to be in a relationship. What person A and B is doing, it always boils down to who you are as a person. It boils down to what you think about yourself. It boils down to how you see yourself. It boils down to what you wish yourself. So people should just do better. Mo Abudu is doing better for herself because she knows her value, and she's deciding to add movie directing to what she's currently doing. And she's working on a new movie that we know is going to be a blockbuster. We know that Ebony Live TV always comes through for us with some of the most beautiful Nollywood pieces in the industry. So we absolutely wish Mo Abudu the best as she sojourns into the land of becoming a film director, and of course one more great director there to be added to the Nollywood industry. We know that Nollywood of course will benefit from her new line of knowledge, and of course in whatever field and field of endeavor or task that we find ourselves, we should always task ourselves to become better. Like Francis will rightly say, knowing one thing and adding the next thing to make your work better. Really, you can't deny the fact that her visual angles are going to become better as she's in this line of production permanently, as a thing for herself. So yes, it's good if it's directing or script writing, but it's more like that balance that says know a little thing about everything and know everything about something. So it does work for us very, very perfectly, but I like to be the bringer of this good news.
Okay, I'll do you the honors.
Thank you for doing me the honors. This one is like a ganga. In the way they review things, you might have just thought it's a common thing. And I believe that in this day and time, we need to celebrate the creative industry, because they have brought a whole bang to this creative thing. Before it wasn't an industry, but right now we know that the creative industry is a thing. And guess what I'm trying to announce? Guess. Marvin Records, which is owned and run by Don Jazzy.
Don Jazzy. Yeah, you get to feel that vibes.
No, that's not how they used to do that thing. Now you've made me forget it. It's not it. But well, what do they call it now? Signee for the label. And what I don't want to talk about it. Let's not spoil it. Watch it. We have a video to this reveal, and it's the most creative reveal that I have seen. It's very intelligent. Okay, so while we wait up to bring that video, but then his name is Bayanni.
Yeah,
Yes.
Bayanni.
His name is Bayanni, and he's actually one of the members of the Marvin Academy. He's one of the people that the Marvin Records actually picked up as students and trained, and out of his set he's actually excelled, and now he's becoming signed as an artist for the Marvin Records. I think is really beautiful.
Well, Uncle
Says uncle.
Uncle Marvin Record, Don Jazzy, has been doing quite an amazing job. If you look at the trail lines of the artists he has been able to sign onto the Marvin Records, and their productivity, what they bring onto the floor of the game, what they have contributed to music in general, then you would get to understand that he's somebody who has stopped for for a lot of things, you know. So Don Jazzy is an amazing personality who understands the music industry, who understands the music business, and has consistently been able to, you know, stay on the lane of that statement that he's been able to make, that, you know, for music is always going to be amazing jobs, is always going to be putting up that amazing music that reflects the African culture, that reflects the African vibes. Is always going to be putting up music that the Nigerian, the people in Africa, the people in diaspora, whether you're a black race or you're not a black race, get to feel the vibes and get to understand. So that video of introduction is something that will really want for all the specific twist that they added to the video.
Yeah.
I like that part of it.
It's really beautiful. Of course, we need to treat our audience to that very Bayanni video, the unravel of the video. I think we have it and we need to bring it up for the people to see. It's a nice initiative, and then we see that we used we have the combination of our content creators, our skit makers. I think I saw this is Brain Jotter. That's Brain Jotter, and the award-winning
Sabalo.
Sabinus.
Yes, Sabinus.
Sabinus. Yeah, so I think that's the video there. The review was very nice, guys. I think we should have it up for.
You should have the video, please, guys.
Let's have the video so that we can actually all relate.
Let's begin final examination.
Sabinus,
Wetin happen? I dey work o.
Shey na so Don Jazzy dey mix am.
Eh? See you. Who Sabin one, na him dey tell that one. When Don Jazzy start to dey do this thing, anytime when they mix, I dey mix with am. See you. Watch now.
Sabinus, don't go put this thing for.
Did I explode though?
Is he ready?
Yes, bro.
Let's begin final examination. Prepare him. What's the fluid status?
Level keeps ascending, Prof. Approaching maximum capacity.
Well, we're not there yet. Hold on. Heart rate?
150, Prof.
Brainwave frequency? Alright, hold on.
Olúwafẹ́mi mọ̀ dájú pé nínú ìrìn àjò sí ibi gíga àwọn ọ̀tá lè gbógun tì ọ́ ṣùgbọ́n ìwọ má bẹ̀rù kò sí nǹkan tí yóò ṣe ọmọ ọlọ́run.
Money won't want me, but I'm out here looking for money. You more boss and shabby, you be the more boss and shabby, you be the more boss and shabby.
Try M10. Now.
Maven activated.
Welcome, Bayanni. The world awaits you.
Calling me Bayanni.
That is such a beautiful big reveal, like Marvin loading. As in, that's a big reveal, and I like it.
You like it?
It feels like a movie in itself. man,
All
musical science fiction. Come on.
Nah, that's super awesome. But you know, I was calling Don Jazzy uncle. Now, if you look at the way he walked, they called him the prof in the short clip we just watched. And you look at the way he carried himself. You see,
I think he's taking like not like a back seat, but a pipe low kind of seat in the industry. He's now more focused on bringing out more people, like identifying talents, giving them the opportunity. And I mean, Bayanni sounds cool already. Sounds good. His songs are, you know, be like something that we are going to be, you know, banging to.
When you find somebody who has been vibing and banging to other people's songs, you definitely get to know that when it's time for that person to come out, it's going to be a whole lot different game, because it shows that he's been listening to what other people who are key players in the industry are doing, and he's been learning from them even without being in the limelight. And I love the fact that, you know, he was discovered via his Instagram post where he oftentimes would post videos of himself doing freestyle in the studios and all of that before he was taken into the academy. So it's an amazing thing, and it goes down to what we've been saying oftentimes, that the social media has created that platform where you can sell yourself, sell your business, sell your talent, and everything that concerns you. You never can tell who is watching, who might be watching, and might pick interest in, you know, being a part of your success story. So congratulations to Bayanni. We wish you all the best, and we just can't wait. Nigerians, Africa, the whole world can't wait to see what you are bringing to the Nigerian music industry, to the music industry in general.
Yeah,
who knows?
Globally. Stage.
Yes.
We're not doing no local things now.
It's not local.
We're going global with everything we're doing. Our
local.
talents are global. I mean, Thames has been dishing us back to back, and I mean, Burna Boy, Davido, Wizkid. So we're adding one more global star. Yeah.
Definitely what we're adding, but let's move away from the global stars.
And congratulations to Marvin Records.
Yeah, congratulations to Marvin Records, and congratulations to Bayanni.
Yes. No, like Marvin.
Okay, so something happened within the course of this week that has resurrected, or that has posed this question, whether or not the people from the legal profession are equally capable of doing something funny. But that's not going to be a focus. Something a lot more funny actually shifted our attention from the NBA and the attitude of some of the lawyers that was condemned by the NBA president Olumide Akpata, to actually the reaction that has even generated a challenge across the Nigerian society. So we had the APC vice presidential candidate Shatima, Shatima at the NBA event alongside Peter Obi, alongside Atiku Abubakar, and all of them brought what they have to offer Nigerians to the stage. Yeah. But guess what? Our attention as Nigerians was completely taken off what they had to say, and we had to focus on the dress code. And yes, who wears a suit? Like a well suit with sneakers?
No. Let's not come from there. If you come from there, you're going to hit yourself on the foot, because we actually do wear pairs of suits with sneakers. It's become a new trend. Let's give it. Let's give it.
Like seriously, I've never seen that.
No. I am a pro for male fashion, and I follow male fashion very well.
All right.
The only thing is that you've got to know what kind of sneaks. There are particular sneaks that match well with pairs of suits or corporate casual outfits. Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing that really went wrong for Shatima is that whoever bought him this pair of suit doesn't even love his career in the first place. Because imagine if Shatima was wearing a perfect pair of suit that was his size, a bespoke suit, and a proper pair of sneakers. Nobody will be making this noise. None of us will be saying this thing. But you give Shatima a pair of suits that is 2 sizes above him and put him I don't know why you're laughing. You put him in the sneakers with a pair of suits 2 sizes above him. Now, when last did you see someone wear this style of suit? These suits have become outdated. These were the suits that men wore when suits became trendy in Nigeria. Nobody wears this thing. And an A-list citizen, someone who's vying for the second, strongest seat in Nigeria, came out looking like this. If I were to be Shatima, I would fire whoever gave me first.
Now I had to laugh. You know what? I intentionally just had to go down that road and let you come out. When it comes to fashion, when it definitely comes to fashion, the women knows how best to dress a man up. But I know that sneakers have become the in thing, that you still find people wearing sneakers even with traditional attire and on agbada, and it still fits. So it's about knowing what to wear, how to wear, and how to combine them to come out. And this one was just a fashion murder, like serious murder. And like you said, I wish and hope Shatima will fire the costumier like right away, because it gave a very complete different
not like
picture.
fire, but the costumier needs to be sanctioned.
No, seriously.
This was absolutely reckless on the part of the costumier.
NBA event, for you to make a fashion statement, for you to even dress somebody for that event means you are given the opportunity to speak, to represent yourself. So doing that was like, even a tailor by Rakpanandem wouldn't dress somebody to that kind of event that way. So it was completely absurd. It was completely out of line. It is something that a whole lot of persons can afford them. Seriously, I personally cannot comprehend that dressing.
No, it doesn't make sense. See, it doesn't make sense at the end of the day. But funny enough, right? I think at the end of the day, it's just a problem with the suit, because in masculine etiquette, when you sit, your tie is actually supposed to come up at the tip of your belt. So if you really look at this Shetima's outfit and see, the man did not do a lot of, like, he wasn't so wrong or out of context, right? But the problem now, like, in Nigerians will say that this is not a person, this is coat. So he wore coat. This is not a suit. So the problem is in trying to get a 21st century fashion trend right on a 1960 appearance or 1960 piece. That's just the problem. That is what happened to Shetima. They gave him 1960 pair of suits, then wanted to achieve 2022 fashion trend.
All right, I think at this point in time is where we just take a quick break and get to digest.
We shouldn't take that break. No,
Seriously,
you're not being fair.
Seriously.
We have pictures. We have pictures of what the trend looks like. We need to see how Nigerians interpret it, because that's what brought us here. The challenge. There is, after he appeared at this NBA event, Nigerians decided to bring about a Shetima challenge. I think we should even do who did it best. So, but then let's have slides of pictures of, people that, actually took on this Shetima challenge. People's wives' scarves suffered. People's head ties. We had Reno Omokri. You are the one that started this violence. Reno Omokri was one of the people who came up on the Shetima challenge. We saw Charlie Boy. We saw some elites, and we are like, hey, who did this? Well, at the end, I know that in the course of the week, Janice was trying to be like, oh no, this is like an assassination of personality. It is not assassination of no personality. We live in Nigeria and these things happen. I remember rightly when it felt like Goodluck Jonathan was the most mocked, president of all time.
No, not the most mocked. His wife, though.
No, but no, it was like, oh my goodness. Okay, I saw this and immediately all the words I was about to say just went back right into my mouth. Now just look at this. Look at Nigerians. Look at, someone even painted it. Someone drew it. Look at that. This is what is called the Shetima challenge. What Nigerians are about. And people are like, instead of us concentrating on the issues we have, even the issues that we raised in the NBA, this trended more than the conversations that Atiku Abubakar,
Peter
Obi, and he came to represent his principle.
Bola Tinubu.
I mean, but look at this.
Well, you can always be sure that whatever happens in Nigeria, we're going to make a good laugh out of it. I mean, it's better that way than cry about it, because if you actually cry, you get to cry about situations like this, it doesn't take you to anywhere. It doesn't create any change. But I think the fact that Nigerians have taken this challenge upon themselves, would tell Shetima a very big message. I know he came out to give his reasons why he had to address that way.
That reason.
Yes, he actually came out to give reasons.
Did it make any sense? Did it make any sense to you?
It didn't make any sense, because even if you're trying to navigate, you could still dress perfectly. I mean, it's not like you're among this swarm of people going to that event. You are an elite, for crying out loud, and you have that preferential treatment of being ordered honorably into the event venue. So the excuse of, oh, I wanted to be able to navigate through the crowd, or I wanted to be able to carry myself, doesn't even come into the picture.
At the end of the day, he was advised to make that response. Even the person that advised him to make that response is not cerebral. Why would you do that? First of all, you brought out Shetima and shot him in the foot by giving him a wrong outfit. Then you come out and still give him a lame explanation. Because when you say like that, he's building on one of the comments one of the tweets that we saw about this outfit. Someone said he wore a pair of suit because he was not sure if he was going to the Nigerian Bar Association conference, or if he was going for the Nigerian Basketball Association meeting. So I mean, it was an NBA invitation, so he did not know if it was bar association, so he put on a suit. He did not know if it was basketball association, so he took on a sneaker.
Now that's that is seriously hilarious. But more seriously, I think it's about that time we go for a break. I think I've seen enough. Let's go for a quick music break, people, and when we come back, Rise and Shine will continue to stay with us. music coming from her, and then this time around, in almost how many years? Almost 10 years, she's back with the first song, and she's collaborating with Elton John, Sir Elton John, who has said that it was indeed a great honor to join Britney on this particular music production, and the music is literally one that everybody can get to relate to. I don't know if you have the videos of Sir Elton John actually performing that video to the soundtrack by a DJ at a restaurant in France for some of the diners to get to have a feel, some sort of a listening party, you know, where you get to see Sir Elton John perform the music and get to, you know, let the people get to feel firsthand how the videos is going to be, or how, while we keep talking, we'll get to sort that out. And of course, once we have that video, it's going to be up for you to see, and the title is Hold Me Closer. Man, Hold Me Closer.
And Elton John. That's quite
exactly.
That's quite a combo, because Elton John is like one of the strongest voices when it comes to music. You know, like you know, like we're talking about Don Jazzy, one of the Babas.
That's Uncle Elton John. That's where you're going to.
That's where you are going to.
But seriously, it's a beautiful thing that Britney has eventually finally broken out. You know that her entire life, the entirety of the music career was, you know, controlled by her father. And at some point in time, they had some, you know, little misunderstanding here and there. So finally, she's out from that, you know, contract, and then she's going to do things herself. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to see that she's coming back to music. It's a beautiful thing to see that while she's coming back with a new kind of energy, with a new kind of vibe. I literally, if I'm given the opportunity to, you know, review the song titled Closer to You, I literally mean that she's telling her fans that she's closer to them than they ever would expect.
Yeah.
And then the music she's bringing up is going to be music that is going to be relatable, that you can stay here and get to relate with what she's been going through. You can stay
here. She just recently got out of a conservatory, you know, kind of, whether it was a relationship now or
management. And that is literally like something that every person who's had his or her parents try to detect what they should be, what they should become, who they should relate with, and all the things they should do would get to relate with. Now, a lot of parents, especially in Africa, find it very difficult to understand that when the baby you gave birth to after carrying him or her for 9 months grows through the different processes where you had to school that child and gets to adulthood, it is time for you to let your child take decisions for his or herself. It is time for you to understand that that baby you carried in your womb, that child you nursed, that child you've educated, has the capability and the ability to think for his or herself, and then give that person the freedom. At that point, the role you play is that mother, that father who prays over your child, who counsel your child, and that child determines whether or not to take that counsel. Now, guess what? Just like the Bible has said that train your child in the way that he or she should go, and when that child grows up, he or she will not depart of it. If you had done a great job as a parent, you definitely would know that regardless of the influence, one or two situations might come when you have children who have been well trained go out of the line, but then significantly a greater percentage of the children who are well trained, regardless of what influence on the social space, what influence the 21st or 22nd century will bring, it's definitely not going to affect the decisions they make, the kind of associations they keep, the kind of things they find themselves doing. So this literally is a very big message and a very big
point. Well, Britney Spears is back on the scenes with her music, and she's returning with Sir John Elton on this new work which says Hold Me Closer. So we wish her all the best as she is reintroduced into the music scene, and we hope that it's going to be a fresh and really good and rewarding journey for her. We hope to have more songs from her for her very teeming fans, and of course more conversations in Hollywood. Nick Cannon. I don't know why when out to you're laughing, but Nick Cannon, I think 2 weeks ago, announced that he was expecting his 9th child. But this week, Nick Cannon is expecting again his 10th child. And I had to take a break and ask, Thank God I didn't do that. But he has the thing of having, like, he's a baby mama, baby papa kind of factory in Hollywood. And he's expecting his 10th child with another woman, whilst the 9th child has just landed. He's also on the way. So he's going to have like twins from different mothers at about the same time, the same season. This is such a...
Well, I think Nick Cannon is very fertile, and we can begin to compare him to our very own Chubaba. I'm not dragging, you know.
See, there is a constructive way to put it. I said that he is the baby daddy factory of Hollywood. Allow the viewers to use their mind and do the baby factory.
Other artists in Nigeria are going. I think at some point somebody might overshare the two-face.
I don't know why you're saying
no, seriously. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Now, it's becoming a norm. Like even the new entrance into the Nigerian movie industry, it's like taking that trend and trying to improve upon it.
Yeah.
But then looking at Nick Cannon's issue, one of the questions American people keep asking, like, is this guy out to produce an entire, have just
one or two children?
One or two at most, 3. Somebody has 8, 9,
and it's going on
10, and still counting.
I think the issue is that he doesn't have all those children under the same roof at the same time. So he might not really feel the impact. If it were to be like one woman giving him 10 children, then it might have been like, okay, guy, what's happening here? But you have children with different women spread across, and then he has the financial strength to be able to cater for them if that is the case. Just look at it. But 10 children, kudos, Nick Cannon. We should have started by saying, oh, congratulations. Nick Cannon is expecting his 10th child from, I don't know, maybe the number 5, the number 5th woman.
Yeah. Well, I think, bro, you're doing a great job. You're showing us that the black race were very fertile, and then you're painting the right picture.
How can this be a fertility test for the black race? How can this be a fertility test for the black race?
Well, Nick Cannon is just trying to be himself. I think on the other note, though, on the other side, though, I know I've had conversations with people that that borders on the number of children they want to have, the number of children they want to have when they get to settle down. And somebody said 6 in a conversation recently, and all the ladies like unanimously kind of turn attention to the guy. I'm like, what? 6 in this Nigerian economy? And I'm like, hello, the guy's entitled to his decision and the number of children he wants to have.
No, people are free at the end of the day.
And then at the end of the day, it's basically about the man and the woman to decide what number of children you want to have. And of course, you have to work yourself out to make sure that you provide for those children. So Nick Cannon has every right to want to have, even if he wants to have 20, 30 children, he's entitled to it as long as that is what he wants. As long as he can improve
the lives of those children. But then it's fair. But then let's look at the fact that in old times, there was a thing for having large families. Those cultures just recently dropped. We had families that had 12 children, that had up to 15. It was a way in the oldies, and it was great to have your table at Thanksgiving being full of your children, being full of if it was happening with a particular woman. So we know that it is a family unit. Imagine having a Thanksgiving where he's going to have all his baby mamas and all his children on the table. You know that African women will not take the bench from acting drama.
But definitely it's going to play out one way or the other. I mean, regardless of how much you have, it's definitely going to play out. But then I wish him the best of luck.
And welcome to his babies. They didn't ask to come.
Yeah, they didn't ask to. So I hope that he definitely knows what he's doing and that he gets to play the channel through which the children come. I hope they also know what they're doing.
That's a real issue at the end of the day.
Seriously.
Because you know that this man has a trait of having children with different women, and you still submit yourself to be one in the number. I don't think it's valuable. I don't think that it confers the right honor or value on you. But at the end of the day, really, people feel like it's my life, I can do whatever I please with it. So however it works for you, man, have a field day.
Don't forget, as far as the entertainment industry is concerned, a lot of things that are not going well or does not go well with morality and values is becoming a trend. So It's just like you find women who literally just want to have a baby for a celebrity just because he's a celebrity, you know, and guys with the essence of it, the real essence of being with the person. So it's something that, well, it's still going to happen. We wish him luck. But moving away from that, just about 2 weeks ago, we talked about Belly. Is it up to 2 weeks now?
It's not up to 2.
It's not up to
let's
2.
say 2 weeks.
Okay, let's just say 2 weeks. So Kim Kardashian has come out to tell us that she's ready to mingle again. She's ready to date again.
I'd wire her brain within 3 days of a breakup. I mean, so be it for her if she has that mental strength. But we know that a lot of people do not. But I nearly said underage, lovey-dovey younger boyfriend. But you can't really, you can't slam her for it. Really.
No, see. Hello. Which planet are you on? You know what? It is even the Americans have told us that it takes an average of 6 months to forget about somebody you really, to heal from whatever hurt and all of the things that happened. The fact that you're no longer going to be with that person, even he's a big thing, before now, or beginning to position yourself where you get to find those people. So when we see things like this coming out, it could go to and for somebody who could easily move away in just 2 weeks, it just shows that the value and the worth of the relationship you just moved away from into picture that you wanted people to see. Because I know that the average human person, you can't just walk away from a relationship that has lasted that long, a relationship that...
It's crying over spilled milk.
No, it's not about crying.
If the milk is spilled, it's spilled. Please
it's not about crying.
Let someone mop it up and let the next person move up. Like you rightly said, she's a celebrity. There's a long line of men who's waiting.
Well, because I know he's definitely going to respond, you know.
When in that case, when you talk about the fact that you know that Yi is going to respond, Yi is not the person who is spending time not recovering from his relationship.
No, Yi has
Kim Kardashian.
Wait,
he's spending too much energy in Kim Kardashian's business.
First and foremost, the welfare of the children is paramount. The kind of men who go into the woman's life and the welfare of children is paramount. That is very important. And then you look at the fact that before that breakup, there was a picture painted of Yi like he was
for her children.
No, it doesn't mean, but a woman who has children shouldn't be jumping in and out of relationship.
Agreed.
So if you're jumping out of every relationship and into, okay, let's even imagine now she's up for grabs, okay, and the next guy, no, seriously, not the way you're thinking.
Ouch!
Now she's out. No, seriously, she's out to date again. Now let's look at another guy coming into her life this week as we're talking. Okay, and then
she's ready to
date.
She did not say she's ready to date this week.
She's ready to date means she's ready to date, which means if it just happened, she would do it. Even if it's now. And who knows? Kardashian should pipe it low and look at the wealth of the children.
True.
You know, parading different men is not really healthy for children.
Well, at the end of the day, right, like I always say, sometimes people do not really know what they want. What kind of impact do you want to experience from a relationship? She might not have all of that. She might just want to be in the news for being, you know, for dating someone, you know, and all of those kinds of things. So, but relationship is like, yeah. But I totally agree with Francis. Parading different men in front of your children, if you're to take your time, vet the people that are coming to your life, vet the men that you want to date, you know, let's do better. And if which Hollywood people, we will send your number and your request to her.
But let's leave Kim Kardashian and wrap up this conversation.
Yeah.
Now, so Sylvester Stallone has been one of the great and lost his dog, and then in the process sold his dog, and in that process had to write the first script that gave him his first married and his wife, and they have adorable children together. But guess what? Just about 2 weeks ago, or three weeks or thereabout, he, you know, came all the way. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, he replaces the situation. But guess what we are saying? The wife has filed for divorce and have cited a lot of reasons. One being that he's been taking, you know, their shared properties. And
people, we are too trivial. We do not have respect and value for anything valuable in this life. I don't know where we came from as a generation, but it doesn't make sense. Number one, both on Sylvester Stallone's part, and he took two of your wife's face and replace it with the face of your dog. If you loved your dog, you might as well, whatever. But then, auntie, they remove your face. That marriage does not mean anything to you all of a sudden because you warrants a divorce. 25? They've been married for 25 years.
Yeah.
Yes. So how do you flush 25 years down the drain because your face was replaced. The image of the face of a dog,
Well, this is one marriage I would have said, well, we pray the divorce doesn't skelter, but there's really nothing we can do. It's only the court that's going to decide. But right about now, we're just going to take another...
It might be speculations.
Not speculation.
It might be possible. See, this microwave generation, this thing that we do.
Jeez.
This thing that we do, we just feel like, I mean, let if this man passes, that there's another. But we are going to take a break because I don't want to be angry with people that I don't know our values. But with banging conversations all the way almost to the end of our show. It's been Rise and Shine, and it's really been a good day with you on the show. Yes, get ready to join in the conversation.
Still Rise and Shine live Saturday from across the world that we have brought to you this morning. And guess what? You know how we do it when we have celebrating in the house, or when we have join us and make welcome. He's been here before, but the first time was not live. You know, he had to join us from what we call ICT.
Spoil it. Okay, oh yeah, let's do the welcome now.
All right, for the first time live on Spectrum Television, join us and make
both of you.
Welcome, Fiboki.
Thank you.
Great to have you. So, Fiboki is a renowned gospel all around the country, and he's been doing great works for over a decade, and trying to infiltrate the music space. It's not been so accepted in so many climes, especially in Africa. Looking at our very off, and we'll get to know how he's been faring. How are you? How's the journey here?
I'm fine, you know. And if you move from where I'm from to where you're going, you know what that means. It's down here.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And then from Eket down here, another Nigerian journey.
Yeah.
But beautiful.
Icecracker. Fiboki is like your stage name. That's what most people know you for, because of what you
like. You know, picked the initials of my name, F for Felix, E for Eton, Ibok. Then the one name, you know, and I tried a lot of things, and then I got at the point I put the initials together, I arrived at Fibok. It was like half. So I think
I like it, Fiboki. It makes a whole lot of sense. So what was your introduction to rap music, and why rap music? It's not
rap. I think I could differ a little, because in Nigeria, in Africa, you know, I never, you know, got out like a gospel rap artist from the beginning. You know, we heard a lot of people music, so
that's more like when you're talking about like circular music.
Yeah. But you know, on the contrary, I never really liked music.
Oh.
I grew up hating a rap video of Tupac. I hated him for 3 months for that.
Wow.
But you know, I began.
Wow. Okay. What inspired the change?
Yeah, you know, I got to school doing different things. Some people playing football, some people drawing. You know, you were like, you had to have something. You couldn't just be the only one left out. You have nothing. And you know, as a new tertiary institution student now, nobody won't bother you, make you confirm again. They respect you before they use it. And I picked up my biro on my paper and I wrote my first song. Like, I've been listening to music, so I was kind of inclined already.
Lines of the song?
Not really been far. Like, progressed from there. From there I wrote another song, then it was a rap. It actually was not even a rap. It was like a normal sing. So we started, but it was all secular, you know, like they call it.
Seems like they call it.
Yeah. So
okay.
From then on, it was.
So from not having to choose rap above like mainstream or other genres.
I think, God bless. Like singing was too shallow. People who make that kind of, you know, if you sing, you can forgive me. I'm not saying you gotta be around rap satisfactorily. So I love things like that, you know, that push my IQ, things that get me deeper. So I felt like, then the energy as well, the masculinity in it, you know, the manliness, the violence. Way back then, you know, feel like, you know, you're right. We were in the same environment, so, you know, that wild, vile.
Rappers were
so, you know, like traditionally, that's what. Back then, not now, rap is kind of cheesy, very, you know, like feminine and kind of beautiful.
Let's talk about your switch from the secular world to the gospel world. How did it all happen? Is it something that, you know, you had planned it? Is something that just, you know, just happened from all over the place? How did it happen?
Bro, I've learned a lot in my 5 to 6 years of following Jesus, consciously and intentionally, to a point that I know that God controls the earth. It might look like it is falling apart, it might look like people are doing whatever they want and you're not doing what you want. You're playing scripts. It's the truth. And my life, every time I remember it, I'm happy because God loves every human being that he made. You know, I was out there, I had the intention of succeeding in rap music, whatever it was going to take. You know, the kind of indoctrinations we got at the time was, man, you can kill people, you can sacrifice to be popular, and I was ready to sacrifice my mom. I remember once I'd be walking down from school with my friend Etifit. I call him the prof. He's very intelligent, one of like the most smartest brains I've met on earth. We'd be walking back from school, and then I'd be crying on the road because I knew what I was up against. I wanted to do it, but I did. Like, my mom loves me. Like, if I cry, she cries. But so you know, they say if you want to sacrifice, you bring the people you love.
The most loved.
All that trash. So I knew my mom could never escape it. So I'd be walking down the road with my friend. I'm crying. I didn't want to do that. Along the line, you know, when we're done with school, of course, we pioneered the radio, and then the founder of the school didn't actually want me to leave for service. Actually wanted me to redeploy, come back to the radio and serve there. But I had this pull to go out of Akwa Ibom. I felt it was the greed, all right, trying to go chase my dreams. I actually wanted to go to Lagos. I wanted to go there. And if I had gone there, if I had my way, I will be self-destructive. Like, I would be self-destructive rather. I would have destroyed myself. I had that pull. You know, you've experienced the Akwa Ibom, you've burnt all your life here. You need to go out, go see the world, like they say. But I didn't know there was something behind that. And I was not even posted to my, where I wanted to go. They posted me to Ekiti. It's dry, entertainment doesn't move there, music, nothing works there. Quiet. And I went there. It was boring. I thought, very boring. How I ended up in the Nigerian Christian Corpus Fellowship house, I don't know, family house. And I've never attended their service once all through my stay on camp. Or when the time was, we were deployed to the cities and cars ran out. I couldn't find transportation. The only car that was left was that NCCF. And I had to take it. Stepped in the house. I felt this strange feeling for I've never felt that in my whole life. All the denominations were deconstructed. People were just at plain level. No denominations. As I'm talking to you, I can still feel it. It was plain following. I was pulled in there. I stayed, tried to go out and look for a house. I couldn't go. So much influence there. So things started happening very, very fast. If anybody told me today I'd be proud about Jesus Christ, talking about him as a lyricist, picking my biro all the time to write, trying to talk to, I would think that would be stupid. But, God is God. There can only be so much you talk about. You can't talk about this, you can't talk about that, you're limited. It's not true. I found in the Bible a destructive perspective. So I began to overwhelm me. It wasn't something like somebody just walked up and preached to me or I was like firsthand and right from there. Ekiti State, NTCF, the devotions, all the activities, everything. And from there in that house, it's like if they're all famous or whatever, but I feel peace if I can talk about Jesus and 2 or 3 years. So I found purpose. It was no longer.
So how's it been navigating as a rap artist in the gospel?
It's been crazy.
Okay.
I have to talk about it the way it is, most especially now, which is stealing. You're stealing God's glory and giving it to the devil for what he knows nothing about. It's evil. This is bad for you. who made sound? He made Stevie Wonder. He couldn't even see. God owns innocent. Music is pure. That's why everybody receives music. A secular artist receives it, not like words, but like sounds. Everybody gets music like that. Call whoever you want. Tupac should call Jazzy, come down to Africa, MI, anybody. You get it as sound. What formulates the content is the texture of your heart. A man who does not have doesn't give. So if you don't believe in goodness, when it comes down, you give the contrary, because that is what is in your heart. So if your heart is purified by love, by the love of God, the fear, the reverence to sovereignty and providence, when it comes into your heart, out of the abundance of the heart, the mind, when the sound comes, it comes out. So when we now say we can't, rap, you can't come to church and be rapping. No, it's not true. But thank God there are a whole lot of ministries rising to do a lot of beautiful things. There will always be. We love that you can stand on that space. People need to navigate those spaces everywhere, fashion, wherever, because it's been corrupted. People need to be there. You have to have. But I already from the beginning took my eyes off recognition.
Oh yeah.
Music. They can be like, yo, Alpha guy, where you did? Come studio now, make those relationships.
Wow.
So apart from that, which would have really been
having your eyes on the right place has been able to take that burden
away from you. The prize is not what you get from God's hands. The prize is actually.
Problem is in when we think that yes, your talent should get to a point where it profits you, but from the point where you start out to when that begins to happen, we need to be able to know that we can do other things while we wait for the profiting of our talent. So, but you're able to do other things that
what you said. I was like, when I began doing that, I felt like if I could have done that from the beginning, if I had that mentality from the beginning to work, you don't have to do any other thing. We just believed, you get me, and then probably we were. But it could be crushing, because it is not true. While you wait for the gift, your own garden, you need resources. You need to be able to, keep up, engage my hands in a few things.
And God's been faithful.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's talk about something that we don't. Christians that are born again Christians, but they do not have the character that match the life of a Christian with the line with how a believer should be. What's it been like for you the past 6 years, having to grow a character that is in keeping with the tenets of a believer?
Two sides of the spectrum. First of all, every human being on earth are all progressive works. They're all works in progress. And we argue about a lot of things that if you open the Bible, you won't ever dare have such arguments. You don't have salty water from fresh fountain. They say don't judge a book by its cover. Jesus says the opposite. He says judge it by the cover, by the fruits, and we submit to it. So when character is not in itself to the tutelage of the Bible, so where I'm on Twitter and you see me validating things that are not in agreement with my faith, with my belief. There's everything wrong. So it's one thing to acknowledge you're broken, you're still in the process of being fixed, and you trying to, own that and say navigate though. But humility in the first place is, where you begin from, accepting what Jesus says. If your life doesn't conform, if my life doesn't conform, I'm to bring it to Jesus and conform it, because my character must reflect what he says.
Oh wow. At the end of the day, time doesn't always allow us. Francis is so spellbound that he can barely say something, but then an icebreaker, because it's really been intense, but an icebreaker. Is there a special someone in Fiboki's life?
Yeah.
But just before we go, Fiboki, I know that rap music, gospel speaking, has not been very well accepted. And one of the reasons that makes Let It Shine, the movie Let It Shine, as one of my favorite was the theme of the movie, where it talked about seeing past the sound that you feel in the music to actually getting to see the message. Like and then that movie, the sound, basically son becoming a rap artist. Until he took the time to read through the lyrics, the messages embedded in the music, that is when he got to understand that his son was actually preaching bigger gospel that he was doing on the pulpit. And then he get to allow this episode. So in just about 30 seconds, what do we do to make Christians get to understand that sound is of God, whether it's rap or is the contemporary kind of singing?
Keep on doing what we're doing. Everything builds. There is no how you would draw people into time when time has not come for them. We keep doing what we're doing. No matter how good the idea is, no matter how perfect, we have to keep doing the little bit that we're doing. It wasn't like this before. People pioneered this. I'm still like a pioneer too to my own circle. But I've seen the light go off on a lot of people, and it's enough to motivate me and keep doing what I'm doing. There are generations growing who will come and move faster than us, who will come and go wilder. But before they could come and have that extra speed, we must have established a kind of speed for them. So it's to keep doing what we're doing, it's going to catch up with everybody.
Wow, the price of a pioneer. Oh, really great conversation. We've been speaking with Fiboki, how is popularly known in his music circles, and it's been a really faith-lifting conversation this morning, and this is how we will be wrapping up our conversation. No matter how long it's taking you to come to the limelight of all that you know God has promised you, keep doing what you're doing, because in the shortest time to come, no matter how long it seems, you will definitely get to the fulfillment of promises. My name is Bayanni, and I appreciate it, Francis.
And of course, I'm Francis, and I do enjoy the rest of your weekend. And thanks, Fiboki, for coming through.
I've known you forever. You're not fine again.
It's actually bye-bye from all of us here. This is how we're winding out and leaving this stage. Please enjoy the rest of your weekend.